Also, there's a lot going on in the world right now. It's a lot of stuff going on in the world. Um, by the time you guys get this, this story would have already been a couple days old. But Brittney Griner just got 9 years. Before we go into that, so usually I try to keep my opinions on a grand scale. I try to keep them off the show. And I do that because we really love to focus on, people's stories and things of that nature. And, whatever's happening at the time, we can usually try to tie that in to the storytelling aspect. But this time is a little bit different. Like, all right, so give me a minute to unpack this. So, first of all, I will say that it's a shame that she has to spend 9 years in a Russian prison for her offense, and she did it. She did it. The thing that I struggle with in all of it is how for us, how for some of us Americans, we feel like what's American is law. It's not true. For myself, I've traveled for a good number of years, and I was told before I even got on the first plane to come over here by a veteran. At one point in time, he was a diplomat. The first thing that I was told by him, before you go over there, you need to understand this, son. A lot of what you believe doesn't really apply when you cross over those waters. And for him to say at that time what he said so flatly and so direct, it was like, so what he was saying was, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, not as the Americans do. And again, I want to reiterate, I think that it's a it's it's a very harsh punishment for something like that. However, this is how they play in certain countries. This is how they move. That's just it. I hope in the near future she can come home. I'm also I'm in a weird space because of this. I'm in a weird space because there are some people that are saying, "Oh, it's just weed." And hearing that from US citizens who know the history of the country is crazy because you know of someone who has had to work hard to expunge their record for weed charges. We know, or you might be a person that has served time for marijuana. You know these stories of people who are serving 10 and 20 years for weed in America. So how do you have the audacity to say it's just weed? Now, I get the ideology behind it because the marijuana plant is harmless, especially when you don't abuse it. I get that. It's a plant. It should not be considered a drug. Xanax is a drug. Promethazine is a drug. The marijuana plant, not so much. Some people may agree with me, some people may not. This is why I don't give my opinion because it's mine, right? The 9 years is tough. I'm more tapped into how she's processing all of this mentally because no one deserves this. But I'll wrap it up by saying this, especially to my young travelers, to my old travelers, to my young athletes who are traveling overseas for the first time, I personally encourage you to live it up, have great experiences. I encourage you to be lit, if you will. Play well, have a great professional career, but you have to play by their rules. You're not going to come in and change the rules. The rules are the rules in a lot of these countries. You have to play by their rules. This is a hard lesson to learn. I wish we weren't having this conversation in regards to Brittney Griner, but some of us, we tripping right now. We really tripping.